Welcome back to the Pot Spoon Kitchen. Today we're making something very special, the art of sourdough. I'll show you how to build a lively sourdough starter from scratch with just flour and water. And later, we'll talk about drying it into a powder that you can store for many years to come. If you've ever wanted to make bread the old fashioned way, you're in the right place. So let's dive in and build a starter that will keep on giving. Before we start, sterilize your jar, utensils, and spoon with hot water. Clean tools make a healthier starter. Into a bowl, we are adding 100 grams of distilled water. You don't want to use chlorine water. You can also boil the water before using it. 93, 96, close to 100, exactly 100. I've already converted this in the description box into tablespoons. Next, we are adding 100 grams of whole wheat flour. Why whole wheat flour? Because the lukewarm water that we used would wake up the natural yeast faster so your starter gets active sooner. I will show you what white flour does later in the video. So we are exactly 200. We are mixing this into a thick paste. This right here is a 1-to-1 ratio, 100%. Now we're going to add this into a clean jar. This is my preferred method because it's less messier. You get to see what is in the jar, as a jar is always nice and clean. Clean the edges of the jar, cover it with an airtight lid, and then we are going to place it in a warm spot overnight. Before we do that, we are going to label exactly where we started, day 1. You can choose to use rubber band or tape to track the growth. So we have day 1. Okay, so it's the end of day 2 and we see a lot of activity and a lot of growth. In the morning, it's not going to be so much because it's around the same time I started, which is almost 24 hours. We see a lot of bubbles forming, which means the wild yeast is already active and doing its magic. From the top, you see small bubbles, but nothing much. The color simply changed a little bit. So we're going to mix this up and we are going to feed it at 75%. Yesterday we fed it at 100%, which was 100 grams water to flour ratio. Today we are feeding it 75 grams of flour, 75 grams of water, which I also use lukewarm water. Add it into the jar. It's important to note that you want your yeast to work, so you have to feed it very well because you cannot work without food, because you really won't produce much. And we are going to do the same thing as we did yesterday. Give it a really nice mix to make sure that you really feed the starter well. If you see water settling at the top of your starter, it means that you are taking too long to feed it. It's hungry. Cover it loosely, not too tight. Label where it is. So we have day 1. We have day 2. So we see growth. As soon as you feed it, you're going to start seeing the yeast begin to become active and start feeding on the starter. We are on day 3 today and let's see what happens. The difference between today is that we got a lot of activity. Looking at day 1 when we started, day 2, and this is where we are on day 3. If you examine the jar on the outside, you see a lot of activity, and this is growing very fast. To get to the top at this point, it's gonna take me about 10 to 15 minutes to get all the way up. We have a very active starter. So you continue to feed it. You will feed it and it will continue to grow and grow and grow. And we are not going to waste anything in this recipe because we are going to dehydrate this at the end. Take a moment to appreciate exactly what the yeast is doing. If you decide to use white flour on day 2, this is what happens. At the end of day 2, there's not much activity. The color will become ombre, and if you look inside, yes, it is active, but it's not as active as when you use whole wheat flour. It takes much longer and you don't get the best outcome. This is the one with the whole wheat flour. When you're using your sourdough starter to make breads, you want to activate the yeast first, and when you get to this consistency, that's when it's ready to use. We are going to pour 50 grams of it in a jar before use, and we are going to feed it 50 grams of flour, 50 grams of water, and let's see how active our sourdough starter is. This is exactly what you will do before making your bread. After pouring the food into the glass jar, you want to make sure that you mix it up so that the food is distributed well. Make sure that you use a glass jar. At 1:33 p.m. we started, while the one that we use from will continue to grow. The one that we added the white flour in is still struggling and is still far behind. At 1:47 p.m. we poured out some from this jar, and at 2:35 p.m. it's already full and it's continuing to grow. At 1:33 p.m. to 2:35 p.m. this is the amount of growth that we got from the other two. It's going to take another 2 hours for this one to come up. Once it starts to deflate, you can place it in a refrigerator where it can live and you can feed it each day. You can feed it before use or you can dehydrate. We are going to begin one of the aging processes by dehydrating the starter. Pour it onto a sheet, and you want to get something that is very flat, and you want to spread it out very, very thin, almost see-through. When you are making your sourdough starter, expect to smell something that smells acidic, something that smells sour, but not something that smells really horrible. Make sure that you spread it out on a sheet on top parchment paper. Once it's ready, nice and smooth, very even, we are going to cover it with parchment paper and smooth it out. Cover the entire surface. If you have gotten this far into the video, give the video a thumbs up, which helps my YouTube channel to grow by reaching more people, to help me grow and to make better content. This is beautiful. You want to place this in a dry area. A large tray like this should take about 5 days to dry. I would place this large tray on top of my refrigerator because it's nice and warm up there. At the end of day 4, this is what we have. The center is still kind of moist. It's not ready as yet. You want to make sure that it's completely dry and brittle. This is a sheet that I did ahead of time, a smaller sheet. This sheet took 3 days to dry. This is what it looks like, and this is what it feels like. You want to break it into brittles and place it into a jar, or you can go a little bit further if you have a spice grinder and you want to place it into a spice grinder and turn it into a powder, which you will go further and sift it and bottle it in a nice dry jar. Place it in a cupboard but outside of the fridge. This can last for many, many years, giving you really nice flavor sourdough bread. We have now come to the end of our recipe. If you enjoyed the video, give the video a thumbs up, a subscribe. Help me to grow my YouTube channel by sharing. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend, and see you in another one of my recipes.